Today, we're going to dive right into the practical steps of how to hash fields in SQL Server. If you're looking for more on why and when to use hashing, be sure to check out our previous video on hashing. Now, we're going to jump right into the code. About a few different examples here. The first one is just a standard MD5 hash. So let's talk real quickly about the syntax to create a hash in SQL Server. So you're going to use the function HASHBYTES. So HASHBYTES again takes whatever text that you feed it and turns it into a hash of that text. So again, if you want details and more in-depth explanation of what hashing is and why and when you use it, then be sure to check out our previous video on hashing. But today we're just talking strictly about how to do it in SQL. So HASHBYTES, we have MD5. There's a few different types, MD5, SHA256. There's another SHA125. So first, we've got an example of the MD5 hash, just regular MD5 hash. We're going to cast our customer email as a nvarchar. So that's just a variable character. That part's not necessary for this, but it's a good practice to make sure that you're casting the fields as a variable character, so that if you have integers or you have decimal numbers or floats or dates that you're feeding into your hash, you want to be sure that they're all of a consistent value, and they need to be some type of string value, either a varchar, nvarchar, or something along those lines. So nvarchar max, and then you see that we're doing a coalesce. So this is just in case the customer email is null. We want to have something fed into it, because if any of the fields that you feed into your hash happen to be null, then the whole hash is going to be null. And that's just not what you want. So this is just a simple hash of one field. Again, we have MD5 hash of our customer email. So HASHBYTES, your hashing algorithm. So again, MD5 or one of the SHAs. Your coalesce, or you could use isNull, but coalesce is usually the better option. You're going to cast, which just means that you're going to ensure the data type of the field that you're feeding into it. And then you're going to alias your field as whatever. Again, as is optional. Good practice to be sure to use as just for readability. But you will see it sometimes without the as and just a space. So, in fact, I'm often bad about leaving the as out, especially from when I was younger. So it's a bad habit. Don't get into it. Use your as. Do as I say, not as I do. So next example, we're going to do a MD5 hash with a convert. And when we run this, I'm going to show you why I'm doing the convert. You'll see very clearly what the convert's doing. But we're adding convert to this. And again, convert and cast can be used interchangeably a lot. In this case, we need to use convert. We're going to convert it to a character 32. And then we're telling it of this type 2. And so basically, it's going to start 2 characters in from the left-hand side. And so we're going to do a MD5 hash of the customer email, again, changing it to a character 32. Everything else is the same here. No real difference. But I want to show you, I'll show you when we run it, what the difference is between those two and why you might choose to do the convert piece. Now, this last one is a full row, a full row hash. So in this case, I forgot to change the name of my field when I decided to give it a 256 example. Change that real quick. So in this case, we're going to hash together. We're going to concatenate first. Concatenate just means to combine. We're going to concatenate all the fields into one long string and we're putting that inside of our HASHBYTES function. So we're going to concatenate that by using the coalesce function. We're going to cast each of the fields as an varchar, so a variable character. If that field is null, then it's going to use the empty string. It's going to concat each of those fields with a vertical pipe. That up and down solid pipe is called a vertical pipe. You'll see that as a delimiter a lot, just because it could be cleaner than CSV or tab separated. Sometimes that pipe separated really gives you the kind of the flexibility that you need when you're doing when you're delimiting things. But in this case, we're going to delimit it by that vertical pipe, and that is really just for separation between the fields. So there's no confusion when it's doing the hash that what each of those fields are. Again, we're going to put all of that together. All of this you'll see is in one big section here. So again, we're concatenating that just with plus signs, right? There's no special trick here, no special function, just plus signs, putting everything together, including the registration date. And this is the big piece why you would cast this, right? You know, registration date is a date field, a date time field, and so we need to cast it as a variable character before you put in the hash, or you'll get an error telling you that it can't convert the date to a variable character. So all that, we're going to put it into a SHA256 hash. We're going to use that as our algorithm, and you'll see very easily which one's the 256 and which ones are the MD5s. And let's run this and take a look at it. So we're going to run it. It runs pretty quickly, comes up. So you'll see that this first row is our MD5 hash without the convert. You'll see that it has a 0x at the very beginning here for each of those fields, and that's part of that hash, right? And so that's part of why we do the convert, so that we get rid of that 0x at the beginning of that text. Now, you see very clearly also the difference between these MD5 hashes, which are significantly shorter than our 256 hash. So you'll see that the 256 hash is considerably longer than the other two, and that's what makes it more secure. So the SHA256 is more secure than SHA1, which is more secure than MD5. And so, you know, you increase the complexity of your hash, increase the length of your hash, it increases the securability of the data that you're hashing. So again, if you want to learn about why you would hash, be sure to check out our previous video on hashing, but want to be sure to revisit this subject and make sure that you knew how to hash. So if you have any questions about hashing, be sure to drop them down in the comments. If you want to check out that video on hashing, be sure to check it out here. And if you want to check out our previous SQL tutorial videos, be sure to check out our SQL Masterclass here. I'll see you next time.